Welcome to your Apple Update. I'm your host, John Sherrod, and today I want to talk about a new report that 9 to 5 Mac put out that says that Apple is planning to merge a couple of apps. And 9 to 5 Mac has been on a tear as far as reports about new things that Apple's going to do. So kudos to them for getting the scoop on all these things. But there's a couple of apps that you may or may not be currently using that Apple has that are on your iPhone, your iPad, all your iOS devices have them. And that is Find My Friends and Find My iPhone. And based on this report, 9 to 5 Mac is reporting that Apple is working on a successor to these apps, a new app that'll merge the functions of both of those things. And this is pretty cool because these are apps that I use pretty heavily, especially Find My Friends. My wife and I actually have it set up so that we can always use the Find My Friends app to see each other's location. And this is really helpful because our schedules are sometimes different. Like I actually, just before I started recording this video, I popped into the Find My Friends app to see where she was because she's out with the kids running some errands to see if I had time to sit down and record this video actually before they got home so that we can have dinner together. And so it's really useful. We use it a lot too when we're traveling. If we're traveling to visit her parents or my parents, for example, we'll share. You can actually go into the Find My Friends app and share your location with someone. And when you do that, you can either share it indefinitely or only till the end of the day. And so we use the latter feature a lot of times when we're traveling. So we can say, I can, send the invitation to my mom and say, hey, I'm sending you my location until the end of the day. So you can just check this app to see where we are instead of calling me all the time when we're on a road trip to see where we are. So that's a really useful device. Really great if you if you have teenagers and you want to be aware of where they are when they're out driving, that sort of thing. Or if you're I can imagine if you're out like at an amusement park with friends, you can use it to kind of coordinate and see where everybody is. So if you don't use that app, it's a fantastic app. I'm a big fan of it. And the Find My iPhone app is really, really helpful too, because if you misplace your your device, whether it be your AirPods, your iPad, your Mac, your iPhone, your Apple devices, you can use the Find My iPhone app, even though it's called Find My iPhone. That's a little bit of an awkward name, given that it tracks all these other Apple devices too. But you can go in there and you can actually see on a map the last location it was, the last time it checked in. And you can actually send a noise to it. And this is really useful for us and my family because my wife misplaces her phone a lot. She can't remember where she left it. And so she'll say, hey, can you call my phone? And I think a lot of people do this. They'll call their spouse or their friend's phone to help them find it because you'll listen for the ring and find it. But if you have the silent ringer switch enabled when you set your phone down, there's a good chance you won't hear the vibration because that's all it's going to make sound wise. Whereas the Find My iPhone app will let you play a sound that will play even if the silent ringer switch is enabled. So it's really useful. Pro tip, I had to go into this so many times that I actually set up a Siri shortcut so that I can just swipe left on my home screen, tap a little button that says play a sound on Jessica's phone, and in a few seconds we'll hear the ding from the Find My iPhone service. So that's a really cool tip for you if you have somebody that misplaces their phone a lot in your family. You can use that feature. But this new report from 9 to 5 Mac says that Apple's actually going to merge those two apps into one new app, and I think that's a really great idea. It's just a find. I don't know what they'd call it, find, but whatever they call it, having this information in both apps is great. The fact that they're going to continue, they're not like discontinuing either of the apps, are going to continue it, is fantastic. And this rumor gets even better because it says that Apple is even planning to debut a hardware product similar to the Tile device. And if you're not familiar with the Tile device, and there's some other similar things out there, these are inexpensive little devices that are little tags that you can add to your keychain or other small devices so that you can actually kind of do a similar thing to Find My iPhone, but with other random devices, whether they're electronic devices or not. And I haven't used any of these, but it's a fantastic idea. Whoever came up with this idea first was brilliant because, people misplace keys all the time, for example, or a wallet. I can't remember where I put my wallet. So if you have something inside it that is trackable, that can be a big help for you. And if this rumor is true, it sounds like Apple's planning on entering this game and selling their own Apple branded little devices like this that can make other objects in addition to Apple devices trackable through this new merged Find app. So that's really cool. The article doesn't give any timetable on when to expect it. For example, it doesn't say that it's going to be shipping with iOS 13. They mentioned that it may be available or announced this fall in the September event. September is typically when Apple makes new iPhone hardware announcements, and that would definitely be a time that it would kind of make sense to unveil a new product like this. So that's a pretty cool product. If you missed the episode that I did recently on some of the leaks that have come out about iOS 13, be sure to check that out. And be sure to hit that subscribe button as well so that you'll be aware when I have a new video out. Thanks so much, and you guys have a happy Easter.